Hey guys, today I was thinking we could do some repotting. I have 3 orchids that need to be repotted. These 2 are my friend's orchids. They've been a little bit abused, just for lack of knowledge, not for, but anyway, so we're going to repot those today. And hopefully I can keep them for a little while and just see how they do, especially this one. Maybe I'll send back this one and just send it with proper care instructions. But yeah, hoping that I can keep this one for a little while and get it a little healthier. So maybe we'll start with this one. I also have a Paphiopedilum we're going to repot today. It's got some really bad mealybugs and it's kind of a mess, so we'll do that one last. But this one should just be, it's in bark. I've repotted this one before in the ugly clay pot. But yeah, so let's just get to work. I'm just going to put you down somewhere. So, as you can see, there's a lot of roots that are really dehydrated. I've already repotted it once recently. You shouldn't repot your orchids too frequently. It should just be a once-a-year thing. But in this case, I noticed the roots were very dehydrated. I didn't want to water more, so I'm going to change the medium and add some coconut husk with the bark. Put it in a new pot, and then hopefully this guy will prick up. He's got a little leaf. And clearly he's got some new root tips too, so there's some hope for this guy. He's looking pretty good, actually. So let's repot him, and I'll take you back when he's all done. So I think this is a good sized pot. Yeah, he fits in this quite nicely. It'll give him lots and lots of room to grow. You don't want to give them too much space. This is just like a plastic container that I've just drilled a bunch of holes in. Nothing fancy, lots of air, and so yeah, we'll just repot him up in this. So yeah, I'm just adding in the bark and the coconut husk, just sort of everywhere he needs it. So I think this was pretty successful. I had to really pile up the bark because he had a few roots I couldn't get covered up, so maybe I should have used a deeper pot, but I think this was a good decision. There's lots of room to grow, not too much. I think he'll do well. Updates to follow in the sky whether I keep him or not. Oh, and by the way, I have seen the flowers on this orchid, and it's, I think it's called a harlequin. It's the spotty white with the dark purple. It's quite common, but still a beautiful orchid. Orchid number 2 for the day. This one is in much better shape than the other one. He's actually got some leaves. I mean, droopy, sickly, but he still has them, and they're not in that bad a shape, actually. He did have a flower spike when he came here, but, I mean, the flowers were on their way out, but now they definitely are, so there's only one good flower left on the thing. But we are definitely going to, it's a nice-looking orchid, actually. I quite like it. I don't have anything like it that I know of. I have a lot of Phalaenopsis that I purchased at a discount. I just enjoy bringing back orchids from the brink of death, I guess. But I never know what their flowers are like, so it's really exciting when I get a new orchid flower blooming in my home. So I'm going to pull this guy out of the pot. I'm going to dump him out, and we're going to see what we're dealing with here. This one's in a semi-appropriate pot, actually. And it looks like it's got some good roots. I'm going to use a different pot because this one isn't very clear, and I like the clear pots, but yeah. Let's see how we can get this guy out of here. So actually, before I try and get him out of here, I'm taking my scissors, which have been sprayed with alcohol, so isopropyl, rubbing alcohol, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to chop this flower spike off, and there's another one in there as well. I'm going to chop those off before I try and pull them out of the pot, and then I'll show you what it looks like after that. So this guy actually looks pretty good. I will give her I will say one thing. She didn't overwater. There wasn't any root rot really at all. And she's had this orchid for years and she's never repotted it. So what the problem was it's actually very dehydrated, and the other thing is that, I don't know if you can tell, but all the growing tips have burned off. And I'll show you why. This, it's hard to tell, is severely, like, it doesn't even look like bark anymore. It's just rotted medium. Super rotted. So yeah, it's just in need of a repot, and it's been in need for a while. The bark is literally falling apart. So it's just full of bacteria. And yeah, these are the only roots that I cut off, and just a few little things. It's pretty good, actually. And there was a random Looks like an orange seed in there. I don't know. So yeah, I'm going to hydrogen peroxide this guy to make sure that all the bacteria is gone and that everything's good and clean, and I'm going to soak them, and then we're going to repot them. So I've really given this guy a good soak in hydrogen peroxide, and I've also rinsed him in some water. Got some water in there, so I'm just going to have to really dry him out good upside down. He does have a new growing tip in there. I hope it survives. There's one actually, and there's two. Right there's another one. So I don't know. We'll see how he does. I'm just going to repot him up now. Let him dry, and then repot him. So I just noticed, looks like this guy, it's hard to tell, is growing a new flower spike underneath the second leaf. So that's pretty exciting. I don't think he's healthy enough for a flower spike, but you know what? I've seen sicker orchids do it, so we'll just see how he does. So this is the finished product. He's in there pretty good. Yeah, and you know what? I have really high hopes for this guy. I think he's going to be okay. I think he can go home right away. Alright, so that's it for this video. I'm going to do the Paphiopedilum in the next video, so stay tuned. For now, I'm just going to focus on my friend's orchids. So that was that, and thank you so much for tuning in.